What's up guys, Kim here, and I've got another fitness gaming video for you all. It's gonna be a fun topic today, so let's get straight into it. How do you get massively buff, right? My guns are pretty small, but there's a group of people that can represent this topic perfectly, and that is none other than your orcs. Not just any orc, because orcs come in all shapes and sizes in various fantasy lore. I've chosen specifically to use Warcraft orcs. Many of you would have seen the Warcraft movie just about a year back, and whether it be in Blizzard's video game or movie adaptation, the orcs portrayed in Warcraft are just simply massive, right? They're huge. To the point where, upon first contact in the movie, Lothar quickly realizes that there's little point taking them head on, even for Stormwind's heavily armored plate footmen. Blackhand could even stop a horse's charge on his own, and there was a scene where it was pretty comical to see one of the orcs riding off on one of Stormwind's horses because he was just dwarfing the size of the horse. So two questions come to mind. Is it possible for you to achieve such a physique? One. And two, how should you go about doing it? So, to directly address the first concern, I would just like to say yes. Genetics does play a part. These orcs all look this way, huge and jacked up, because they're orcs. And their bodies are biologically engineered to be filled with muscle. Even frail old Gul'dan that hobbles around is pretty jacked up. However, genetics will always only determine part of the story. It will enhance you in certain areas, and it will limit you in others. Some of you guys will take longer to achieve such a physique, and you may have to put in a lot more effort. However, genetics will never define you entirely. If you work hard, most of you will at least be able to achieve 80 to 90% of what massive looks like, despite your genetics. So let's get straight into it. 3 simple points. Of course, there are a lot more, but these are the big 3 of how to go about being massive, if that's the kind of physique that you want to achieve. 1, you will have to eat a lot. Diet is always the prime factor in any fitness venture you go into. There's no going about this rule. Your body's composition is essentially a mathematical equation that cannot be circumvented. If you wish to put on significant mass or size, you must be putting into your body more than you're putting out. It's a mathematical equation. You have to put in more than you put out. The reverse is also true if you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, you must be putting out more than you're putting in. However, there are caveats to this though. The first being that you should not simply go around stuffing your face with crap like ice cream and donuts. Loading your diet up with desserts and fast food just to bulk up will not provide your body with the correct nutritional elements that needs to build muscle. Remember, what we're trying to do here is to build massive amounts of muscle and not flab. So always load up your body with healthy foods. If you've ever seen diets such as Dwayne Johnson's or Brian Shaw's World's Strongest Man, I'll provide some links to some videos that they have of their diets in the description box below. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about in order to achieve that kind of mass. In fact, I have some pictures here that I'll throw up. There are some side-by-side comparisons of Grom looking very much like Dwayne Johnson and Brian Shaw looking very much like Ogrim Doomhammer in the Warcraft movie. So these are the kind of guys that will advocate a healthy diet above all things. Eat a lot, but you have to put in the correct nutrients in order to fuel your body towards the right direction. So that's 1. You have to eat a lot of the right stuff. 2, you must lift heavy in order to get big. Listen, you need to be strong in order to get big. It's a positive cycle that reinforces itself. The heavier you lift, the more it physically taxes your body, and your muscles will respond by growing larger. The larger your muscles grow, the heavier you can lift, forming a positive cycle of growth and getting stronger. If you've ever heard the notion before that bodybuilders don't lift heavy, that's utter nonsense. Pro bodybuilders lift extremely heavy. Sure, they might not lift as much as power lifters, but they still lift really heavy. Can you grow a muscle by lifting a moderate amount of weight a larger number of times? Essentially a heavier weight with more reps? Yes, of course you can. Take a good look at any Olympic level gymnast or calisthenics athlete And you can see that muscle can be built with just using body weight as the prime resistance. However, it takes a very specific type of training regimen to achieve that sort of result. What we're talking about here is building massive size and not the body of a gymnast. The body of Durotan that you see in the movie, the body of Grom Hellscream that you see in World of Warcraft. Strongman kind of level. The kind of size where your biceps are literally bigger than your head. Essentially swole as Hellscream. So for any beginners out there, how much should you be lifting? I'm going to put up a table here that describes a very simple guideline. There is way more depth to this guideline, but it serves as a very good starting point to approximate how much you should be lifting. As always, intensity will be key. I don't necessarily like to focus so much on the number, but how intensely you attack the exercise. Nevertheless, if you're just starting out, this guide will be a great starting point for you. Which range should you be aiming for in this table? You should be wanting to aim anywhere other than endurance. The third and last point, which will be incredibly important on your fitness journey, recovery. I will always say this phrase: your muscles grow when you're resting, when you're sleeping in bed, not in the gym. Your muscles don't grow in the gym, all while you're working out. Some of the biggest strongmen today go through a very strict regimen of not only lifting the weights and a huge healthy nutritional diet, but also rest and recovery. Strongmen like Eddie Hall have mentioned on multiple occasions about how recovery is just as important as the exercise. As you begin to lift heavier and heavier weights, the feeling of euphoria from lifting something heavier and heavier and smashing your previous records the past week may overwhelm you to the point whereby you begin to overdo it. This is a very common issue amongst us guys. But always remember that your muscles grow while you're resting, not while you're in the gym banging out those weights. The last thing you want to incur is an injury that takes you out of the game for weeks or sometimes even months. Get a good workout plan that incorporates time for your various muscle groups to rest and recover. Remember, even the most jacked up peons, they need their rest too. So should you. And that's a wrap. 3 simple points on how to get swole as Hellscream. 1, you will have to eat a lot, but not just anything, healthy stuff that will give you the correct nutrients to get big. 2, you must lift heavy in order to get big. You have to get stronger in order to get bigger. You can't just pick up a light set of weights and do it for 100 times. 3, recovery is just as important as your workout. Make sure you put in the time needed to give you sufficient rest and recovery. If you'd like me to go more in-depth into any of these topics, or if you have any question at all, feel free to leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to receive more tips to help you on your fitness journey. I've got loads of videos coming up and I can't wait to share them all with you. As always, have an awesome time gaming and I'll see you in the next video.